If you're here to see the healer, don't bother. He's a quack and a butcher who likes to watch people suffer. I came to him with a toothache, asked him to make me something for the pain, and you know what he did? He said my tooth is rotten, and then sent me to Osbrit to get it pulled out. That, and I wouldn't trust him anywhere near my mouth. Don't get me wrong, Osbrit's a decent blacksmith, but he's no good with teeth. With one lad, it took him 3 tries before he got the right one. I'll stick to my grandma's potion for toothache. Or I would, if Heber would stop being such a dick and make it for me.
Heber took the recipe from me. And even if I had the recipe, I'm no good.
You will? Oh, you're a lifesaver. Tooth saver, yeah? No matter. Ah, you're back!
Stay out of my way. Sir, I haven't seen you before. I wasn't expecting any guests, and you don't look like a new recruit. And yet, Odrin let you in. He's not drinking again, I hope. Huh, that's surprising. But good. Very good. He's been a drunk for as long as I can remember. Keeps saying he'll stop, but he never does. At least not for long. The name's Fergus, and I assume you already know I'm the quartermaster here. Now state your business. And please, try to be convincing, or the walls of this fortress will be the last thing you'll ever see. Yes, I know. And that's why you're still standing in front of me. However, these pens were only given to certain people. They mean that in times of trouble, these people will always find a safe haven here in the Horns. And that makes me wonder, what happened to your friend? Where is he? If what you're saying is true, he must have had a deal with somebody well above my pay grade, and that leaves only the captain. However, if you're lying, then you might as well have just confessed to the murder of a Knight of the Round Table. But nobody's that much of a fool, I think. Fortunately for you, I've seen my fair share of morons in life, and you don't look like one. Fortunately for me, this pen only means that I'm to make sure you're safe in the Horns. Nothing about helping you out with whatever you're up to. Anyway, welcome to the Horns of the South. Make yourself at home. That's one of our tags. Every soldier gets one when they pledge their loyalty. I just hope the body you took it from was already cold, because killing a keeper would land you in some serious trouble. You know, here's what I'm thinking. If you stumble over any of our fallen keepers out there, bring me their tags. Sure, they all swore to stay here until the bitter end, but they have families who deserve to know what became of them. It's part of my duty, but since I can't send any more beyond these walls, maybe you could lend a hand. I'll pay you for every tag you bring back. We've been having trouble with the dead lately. The kind that don't want to rest in peace. There are more and more of them roaming the area. It might just be the weirdness, as it has been steadily creeping closer from the north, but somehow I doubt it. Anyway, I suggest you go see Marg first. He knows best what's going on there. He's our huntsman. He keeps us stocked with meat, so the lads don't have to live on fish alone. They get pretty grumpy when that happens. Right now, Marg is the only other person who's allowed to leave the keep. The captain forbade anyone from leaving the keep, so I couldn't. And truth be told, I didn't particularly want to. We don't get many recruits, and you're, well... Sure, let's go with that. Good. Try not to get yourself killed. I'm Captain Brandon's right hand. He deals with the serious matters I don't want to know anything about. I take care of our everyday life. Fine then. This is the keep. Anyone sworn in as a keeper lives here, unless they're no longer fit for service. If that happens, they get transferred to the village. Otherwise, they're not allowed to go there without my express permission. So if you ever see any of my boys down there looking shifty, feel free to report them. You're allowed to walk around the keep and the village, but if anyone catches you stealing, I'll take your hands. If you attack any of my men, I'll take your head. That enough for you? That's between her and the captain. Were it up to me, she'd be long gone. Her presence here distracts my men. He's not our first line of defense. The archers are. Every man here needs to have a job. And no offense to Odrin, but let's just say we can afford to lose him. I'm sure the hordes of visitors clamoring at our gates can survive the insult. It used to belong to the keep. You could say it was its beating heart. That village was where our lighthouses led the ships, and where the workers lived with their families. Ah, those... And there were less and less new keepers, and the others left looking for a better life. Until, at last, the sea took most of it. Depends on your idea of interesting. There's a weird statue with a gong, but I'm not sure how much of it is left. Other than that, probably just damp rubble. I don't know, ask Marg. I'm pretty sure he just sits there all day instead of hunting. No wonder we've been eating nothing but fish. What else was there to do? There weren't enough people to live there, and nobody wanted to anyway. Not since the monsters started coming out of the sea. We wiped out most of them, but new ones showed up every now and then. Marg, our hunter, keeps an eye on the place. You can talk to him if you want. Excalibur. You want to pull it out? That's a good one. Well, be my guest. If you think you can, go ahead. But unless you're King Arthur reborn, I wouldn't count on it. Just as I thought. If you have friends among the knights, you'll want to talk to the captain. But that's not happening anytime soon. Because I said so. What? Did you really expect that you could just enter our keep and head straight for the captain's quarters? There wouldn't be much point in having walls and guards here if anyone could just do that, would there? So what? And have you helped any of my people? Or are you just here to wave that pin in my face again? First, show me you care, and then I'll take you to the captain. I can't have every random stray wasting his time. Not now, when the outcome of the war with its tribes is so precarious. I trust we understand each other? Good. Come back when you've proven your worth to the Horns of the South. Then we'll talk. Yes? Did you find out what's been happening out there? Why not? If you need rest, you can sleep in the barracks. It's no royal chamber, but it's better to sleep under a roof than under the stars, right?
Oh, sorry. Do I know you? I'm terrible with faces. Either way, glad to make your acquaintance. I'm Jan Heber, a physician raised in Camelot and trained in the Royal Academy. Lanzo knows very well what he must do. I'm sorry, but there's nothing else I can do for him. Either he removes the tooth, or it will keep hurting. Yes, his grandma's miracle medicine. I honestly don't have time for village superstitions. I had to confiscate the recipe as well, lest he tries making it himself. As if I don't have enough problems already. No, I thought I made myself clear. If you want an excuse to drink yourself to oblivion on moonshine, just drink the moonshine. No need to add other potentially dangerous ingredients. Well, to be fair, the base recipe is pretty harmless. But what if someone decides that if they don't have carnation, it's perfectly fine to substitute it with devil's snare, since the color is more or less the same? Or sage with wolfsbane, because, you know, leaves are leaves. I'm sorry, but unfortunately I know these people well enough not to trust them with something like this. What? How do you... You know what? Fine. Do whatever you want. But if it causes you to shit yourself for 3 days straight, don't come running to me. Why would you, though? Don't you have better things to do? Aha, got it. So you're up for work not out of the goodness of your heart, but for your own selfish plans. Understood. It's a good reason. Well, I'd say it's better than most. But all right, if you're a mercenary, then I do have a job for someone who'd be willing to risk their life in exchange for material goods. Back at the Academy, I found an ancient scroll written by the Druids. Forbidden knowledge, especially now, after the mob forced them all into a wicker man and burned every last one of them to ash. I finally deciphered it a little while ago. It describes a ritual that needs to be performed at night within a stone circle. And guess what? There's one in the nearby forest. I guess you already know what I need you to do, hmm? That is an excellent question. But I don't know. From what I've been able to decipher, it's a summoning spell to bring something or someone to our world. That being will share its great knowledge with the one brave enough to summon it. I need you to remember what it says and repeat it to me after you're back, word for word. Isn't it obvious? I'm the only medic they have here at the Horns. I'd like to see Fergus's face if he hears about me going out there. And here I am, thinking that everyone's already heard about the Charred Conclave. Well, it wasn't the proudest moment in our history, that's for sure. You truly don't know. At some point, the villagers all around the island decided that the Druids were responsible for the Red Death, and all other ailments of our times. They rounded them all up in a massive wicker man north of the Forlorn Swords, and burned them all to ashes. Hundreds of years of knowledge gone within the blink of an eye. But, well, that's what's bound to happen. Invest in keeping the elites fed instead. In Camelot, maybe, but this far south? Nobody cares. I've spent my entire life digging through scrolls and books in pursuit of their knowledge. I've been reading about their rites and the descriptions of their rituals. Look, I'm sure they were onto something. They knew much more than we do, but it feels like there's a veil wrapped tightly around that knowledge. It's like I need to find the right spell, the right ritual, something that will unwrap it for me. I don't dream about anything anymore, so sleep feels like a waste of precious time. Fortunately, back in Camelot, I found a mix of remedies that can keep me awake for a whole week. It was quite popular in our study group. Oh no, every physician needs his secrets. But I can sell you some if you promise not to tell any of the higher-ups. There are side effects. You won't fall asleep for a while, but the moment you do, well, you'll feel like you died and came back to life, only to die again. So you either take the next dose or endure it. I can endure it because I don't have a post to attend to. But our brave soldiers, well, that'd be risky. Well, they already trust my word, and I'll be sure to deny everything. Moreover, I'm in the position to raise my prices or to refuse to sell you medicine, whichever suits my mood. I'm honestly quite offended you're even asking. Is some local witchcraft I've been trying to make sense of. I guess I'll find out when I try it. Experience is the best teacher. Don't worry, I'm not testing anything on the others. Graham the Mad, a great Camelotian physician, used to say that a real doctor would never give his patients something he hadn't tried on himself first. A wise approach, which I follow myself. The pursuit of knowledge is always dangerous. That's why it's reserved for only the bravest of the brave. It takes true guts to face the unknown, to realize just how little you know, and how insignificant you are to the world. Oh, that was unexpected. Here, take it. What will happen, I have no idea. But please, tell me, if you live to find out. I was classically trained in the proper art of medicine by the scholars of Camelot. The things they do here, they make no sense. No sense at all. Most of this stuff shouldn't even be effective. Yet it seems to work wonders on these simple-minded, tough-bodied people here in the south. Shipments from Camelot are late, so I'm running low on supplies. If I'm not able to treat them, they'll start complaining. And Fergus doesn't like when people complain, especially when it comes to their health. He truly cares about them, I've got to admit. He doesn't care much about anyone else, though.
you're back! How's the remedy?
Thank you. I'll finally be able to eat something.
Here, take this as my thanks for your help.
With steel, can't fight what you can't see. Ouch! Good.
Nice to see you. Boy, friend, a question. Do you know why people always stop and watch a blacksmith at work? Because he's riveting. It's good to see a new face in this sad hole. Oh, of course. I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Osbert, local master of hammers and anvils. Do you need your blade sharpened? Huh. It's for Dan, isn't it? That ungrateful bastard's still on the wall. Disagreement? Sure, you could call it that, and I guess I might have overreacted a bit. But since Dan is on the wall and I'm here, I couldn't tell him that I get it. The prank and all. And I forgave him a long time ago. Now that I think about it, it was a hell of a prank. Well, he was right. I am old, but inefficient, stung a little bit. After all, I did my job well, and his sword is as sharp as Excalibur itself. Well, I may not be angry with him anymore. But that doesn't mean I'll work my ass off so that his doesn't freeze. Here's an explanation of how to make it. Feel free to help him out yourself. Ha! Friend, I wish. But the only task I could use help with might be a bit too delicate for you to handle. Unless you're a master goldsmith, then feel free to prove it. And I'll have work for you immediately. There's just not enough of them to go around. And now that we're on lockdown, there's not much demand for my services either. Listen, I said I don't have any jobs, as in things I pay you for doing. That doesn't mean I can't teach you a thing or two. If you're willing to learn, that is. Since you're free to wander about while I'm stuck in the keep, maybe we can make good use of that. You've probably bashed in the skull of a beast or two, right? The alchemist. They're likely snatching up the corpses, using the muck to cook their weird concoctions. But perhaps you'd rather craft yourself some armor from those hides, huh? We should start with something simple. Let's see. I'll give you some notes on how to make armor. You gather the materials and get to work. And when you're done, you can bring it over so I can see what you've made.
Oh, thank you, friend. Let me repay your kindness. Even though I don't have much, I can at least tell you about something I saw a little while ago. It might be interesting for an adventurer like you. See those rocks near the shore? When it gets dark, sometimes I see a light there. I'm not sure what it could be, though. A bandit camp this close to the Horns? Impossible. Way. They wouldn't hide like that. Maybe something else entirely? It's probably nothing, but maybe you could find something interesting or valuable there. Farewell.
Hope nothing bad happens today.
Welcome! In the name of our eternally reigning Majesty King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Tables, I am obliged to inform you that fighting those who actively break the law and reject the rule of the crown is the duty and pride of every subject. As Camelot's representative, I will be paying a bounty of 10 gold pieces for the death of each bandit roving the area, as long as adequate proof is provided. I also recommend checking the bounty board for information on wanted criminals, especially those considered particularly dangerous. Please, state your business. Really? You fought bandits and killed them? Oh, I want to hear all the details. Here's your reward, but promise you'll tell me everything. Again? You really like killing, don't you? Do you shoot them with arrows from afar, or do you prefer to get right? Oh, someone finally checked out the nano. Do you keep bandits' finger? None so far. The keepers don't want to risk being turned into pincushions for a mere 10 gold pieces. Besides, the captain banned them from leaving the Horns of the South without a good reason. Too many bandits and not enough keepers. Oh, you have no idea. When I heard they were sending me south, to the very place that's crawling with bandits and barbarians from the tribes, I imagine I'd be a little closer to the action, you know? Fighting, gushing blood, screams and such like. I thought the veterans would be showing me their scars and stumps and telling me tales of how they lost their eyes, ears and limbs. Or even better, how they were ripping open throats and bellies. Instead, the only stories I hear are when those fools break their own legs when they get drunk and fall off the walls. I could be, but many people can swing a sword, but only a few have as sharp and bright a mind as I do. It's just that some people were made for fighting, while others are destined for greater things. Besides, watching and listening gives me enough satisfaction without needing to risk my life. Yeah, I've been like this since I was a child. The moment an execution is over, I'm waiting for the next one. And there are quite a lot of them in Camelot. And I like to watch where Mum punished the servants with a whipping. It's just how I am. Well, Camelot would send a group of knights with Sir Galahad at the head, and he's not interested in half measures. He'd probably burn down half the garrison, or hang them. He's done both. By the way, did you know that people who are hanged rarely die from strangulation? Usually the sudden jolt causes the backbone to snap, which separates the head from the body. A while ago I saw someone hanged in the village, and it's true. One snap, and it's done. No matter what you say about him, he's very efficient. Brutal, even by my standards, but efficient. Oh, sure, plenty. Did you know that apparently if you cut off someone's head, they don't die straight away, but remain conscious for a few moments? If someone dies in a damp, closed-off space, sometimes, but very rarely, their body creates a thin layer of wax on the surface of the skin. I heard that a body decomposes in water 4 times faster than on land. I need to think. If I remember anything, I'll let you know. That's correct. My name is Killian. I was sent here from the capital to see how the Horns of the South are handling the bandit problem, and also to encourage the keepers to fight. The situation with the Pict and Del Rita savages is precarious. Too bad we can't get rid of them as easily as we did with the Druids. There have also been rumors that we might soon have a civil war on our hands, so Camelot cannot afford to spread our forces too thin. Well, you've probably heard about the Druids making human sacrifices by stuffing people into wicker puppets and setting them on fire. Well, the people decided to give them a taste of their own medicine. They rounded them all up and then sent them up in smoke. Oh, how they must have howled and sizzled. Too bad I couldn't see it. Most of them, the survivors have supposedly taken refuge with savages in the woods, and one of them is rumored to be hiding in the Horns area. But whether that was before or after the Charred Conclave, I don't know. Would you like to hear about him? His name was Slaudyarg. He was lurking near Blood Lake, a small pond where they used to throw the bodies of executed convicts. They say he would fish them out and use his magic to turn them into undead monsters. Supposedly, he started needing some fresher corpses, so he slaughtered one of the keepers. The Horns organized a manhunt. They found him and sentenced him to death. People say that the moment his body touched the surface of Blood Lake, the water turned red and it's been scarlet since that day. Some say that Slaudyarg came back from the dead and seeks revenge. But if you ask me, it's just a tale by local simpletons. I don't really have much more to tell. It's hard to get any updates here. I only know that the new Lancelot has not been very popular, and that's putting it mildly. The Witch Morgaine would have been burnt at the stake long ago if everyone weren't so afraid of her. And then we have the commoners who seem to keep forgetting their place, and loudly demanding changes. Everything is falling apart. There are rumors that the Rita tribes want to unite, and that would mean open war with Camelot. As for those Pict savages, they've been growing bold, leaving their forest. For now, it's just been small scrimmages. But who knows how it'll end.
There's an ogre. As you can imagine, the keepers aren't too keen on dealing with him. If by some miracle you manage to kill it, you'll earn Camelot bring me the ogre's shiny eye as proof of the kill. The brock is right off the King's Road.
Oh, hey, before you go, I can see the bloodlust in your eyes, you know. It takes one to know one. So here's some friendly advice, free of charge. If you're seeking scum to slay, you'll find bandits in the ruins of a merchant settlement nearby. It's worth visiting if you haven't already.
You do realize you won't score any points with the Keepers by helping me, right? Those holier-than-thou soldier boys have no idea what it takes to be a merchant in this sorry world. The things we have to do sometimes aren't exactly done according to the rulebook. There's a woman from the tribes called Nest. She's my supplier. At least, I think she's still working for me. I haven't heard from her in a while, and she was supposed to bring me some really precious cargo. Something the captain wanted me to arrange. You still up for an adventure, hmm? My guess, and it's only a guess, is that at some point she must have been somewhere around the bay. That beach near the Whale's Tooth. Rumor has it that Bromar No-Face and his thugs are fond of that place, which wouldn't be good news for Nest. Good luck. And don't worry, I'll pay. No matter whether she's dead or alive. Just let me know what happened. And bring back the cargo, if she still has it. Well, off you go.
Pix and Dalray here, yes. And they say I'm not drunk.
Welcome to the Museum of the Horns of the South, the southernmost keep under Camelot's jurisdiction. My name is Ridderick. I'd also like to bring your attention to our numerous... I have to admit that local fauna is not one of my main areas of interest, but I do know the answer to this question, as it is rooted in the history. It used to be the case that a significant part of the daily catch was... So the keepers of that time found a very peculiar way... I'm getting that. No, well... Some of them, called the seagullers, scared off the coastal birds using specially constructed masks. The reason the gulls avoided these masks is unclear, but perhaps they're peculiar. It began in the year 542. It is the crowning achievement of a group. It took them years of tremendous effort to finally open an institution. I don't doubt it. Since Sewell Firstfoot was a remarkable figure, drawing on available sources, we can claim with almost, as you can probably guess, that's where his... Of course not. That was just the first of his many great deeds. Sewell was an outstanding commander whose strategic mind, bravery... He was also the founder of the Horns of the South, so I can say... The museum holds a collection of 72 items of the so-called... The collection includes big and small items that represent the world surrounding. Here you will find militaria, craft tools, everyday objects.
Hope nothing bad happens today. Oh, not really. Especially since people used to come and go. Now and then a ship would make a stop at the village below, but nobody's really come around since. Well, since the entire shit show that's going down everywhere. Now that I think of it, you're the first they've let in. What'd you do? Who did you bribe? Oh, so you have friends in Camelot. Good for you. Of course I do. Those pins are peak craftsmanship, and very rare at that. We only gave them out on Camelot's orders. But when I look at you, well, it's pretty obvious you wouldn't be able to beat a knight. And even if you found one already dead, you'd sooner nick his armor than a pin you knew nothing about. Either way, good for you.
Just keep your head. There you are. Finally. Do you have what I need? A mask? Eh? Are you sure? Ah, whatever. Sod it. Now they'll get what's coming to them. Damn rascals. You can go now. You're right. Here, take this. But don't think, even for a moment, that the struggle is over. We need more, much more, to finally rid ourselves of those blasted birds once and for all. Are you ready for the next step in our fight against the flying, shitting enemy? That's the spirit! In a war like this, every ally counts. Look, I've got the perfect seagull trap design right here. You just need to make a few and set them up in some strategic spots, like this one. And those flying pests will surely get caught. We need to work smart. Go on then, and fight against the flying vermin.
Service.
You need something? You're back! Hi! See... Oh, these poor souls. Hey...
It's nice to have a break. I like it when things are quiet. Just another peaceful moment. What a nice day.
Didn't expect to see you.
Hey, you're heading to the village, right? Tiernan should let you in. Take this medicine to my father, will you? Goban is a loud man. You shouldn't have trouble finding him. I can't promise that talking to him will be any fun. Come to me afterwards. Ah, he used to serve too. In fact, he was the builder before me. Now he's just an old fart angry at the world. But a father is a father, right? We may hate each other, but as long as I can help him, I will. Hence the medicine. If Haber doesn't know, then I don't either. So we keep trying. Because he received orders not to let any keeper through without a pass, and I don't have one. I've already used mine. Guess what I used it on? That's right, bringing medicine to my father. When that Egypt gets an order, he's like a priest who stumbled into an orgy. He's got a stick up his ass. Nothing gets through him. Not all keepers have been here their entire life, you know? He got me before he joined the Horns. Serves me right for wanting to find him, stupid son of a bitch. If only I knew what it would entail. I don't know. Following my old man here was all I ever wanted. Never saw myself as anything else. Tried picturing myself as a husband, a father once. But nah. I wouldn't know how to raise a kid. I'd just mess them up. Like father, like son, I guess. If I had a gold coin for every time someone asked me that, I could fund the damn thing myself. Look, it's Camelot's orders. I get paid to follow them, not to question them. If they want to throw money at us to keep up appearances, that's their problem. I'm not about to stop them. Well, no, of course not. We're not priestesses of the All-Mother. A woman can be an old crone and still devote herself to the All-Mother. But a man's got to have some fight left in him to be a keeper. Oh.
Oh, Mother have mercy. Not another one. If I let you pass, will you promise not to make any trouble? That's just my luck. Take the post, Tiernan, they told me. You'll be looking after a village full of old farts. That's practically early retirement, they said. What a load of crap. There's always something. If it's not the deck falling apart, it's a refugee running around biting people. The deck? Nah, just old wood. Honestly, it's the least of my problems. But I've got no way to fix it. Dara's always busy with his lighthouse, and every time I try to do it myself, someone else needs me for something. I can't even sneak out to the tavern because last time some rich bint started complaining that everything here smells of fish. That's a seaside village. What else would it smell of? You do that? That would be a huge relief. Well, maybe not huge. There are bigger problems, but it'd be a start. Truth be told, I don't know why they want it so badly. It's for boats. No one here even uses boats. But, well, you know how it is with old folks. Once they get fixated on something, there's no point in arguing. I'd pay if I could, but this was supposed to be my job. The budget's long gone. But if you're interested, I could teach you a thing or two about home decor. Not exactly standard keeper knowledge, but, well, we all have our secrets. Surprised? Can't blame you. This might sound odd coming from someone stationed in a glorified fish bucket, but I've got a thing for furniture.
The only thing more mismatched than the barracks around here is my career choice. But, yeah, I like imagining places where things fit. Where chairs don't wobble, tables don't look like someone hacked them together with a dull axe, and beds. Well, not exactly a secret I broadcast. Most folks see me as Tiernan the Grumbler. But, hey, we've all got something that keeps us sane, right? Mine just happens to be daydreaming about nicer chairs. Well, to be fair, he only bit one person. But it was a keeper. I know Mahone can be a piece of shit sometimes, but gods. Now both of them are sick. And Haber's got no clue what's wrong. Which is the only reason that refugee isn't dead. Yet. So, he's sitting in a cage. His wife's crying all day, and everyone's pissed. Meanwhile, I'm stuck in the middle of it all. Oh, she's a real piece of work, that one. Her name's Lady Elisa... something. I don't remember. She came here with her husband. Poor man. I never heard him get a word in. You know, sometimes I regret not getting married. But if I had a wife like her, I'd just end up being a keeper all over again. No need to tell me that. But I can't just go back to patrolling the walls. I'd be a laughingstock. I'd rather sit here and hope everyone's got it. So whether it's me or them, at least my problems will be over. No, not really. Fortunately. Please.
I wish Morris were here with me already. Do you need help settling in, dear? This isn't the best day to start a new life in this place, but we don't always get to choose, do we? What a nasty business with that boy. I'm almost glad my Morris isn't here for this. He's such a bleeding heart. Oh, I'm not sure, love. I don't move around too much. I just heard about that fight with the road keeper, and now poor Cole's locked up in a cage. Him and Patrice make such a lovely young couple. They remind me of Morris and me when we were their age. At first, it wasn't so bad. But now it gets worse every day. We just sit around here, doing nothing. Don't get me wrong, we have food, we have a roof over our heads, and we're grateful for that. But no one trusts us enough to let us do any work. None of us wants to be a freeloader, as they call us. I wouldn't mind a task or two to earn my keep and to take my mind off my troubles. I might not be all hale and hearty, but I've still got two good hands, which is more than you can say about some of the codgers living here. I'm sorry, dear. I hope I didn't offend you. I'm still not used to all this. You see, I was born in Little Grove and thought I would live out the rest of my life there, working in the orchards in the mornings and drinking warm cider with my... We never wanted to see the world. I guess sometimes the world doesn't give us a choice, does it? Little Grove was raided by bandits, a local gang that had been terrorizing the area for months. growing in numbers with each raid. Their leader, Bald Kate they called her, somehow got hold of a branding iron used to mark outlaws. After pillaging a village, she'd brand some men and women of her choosing. That way, Kate made sure nobody would ever help them, and that they'd have no choice but to turn to her if they wanted to survive. My Morris used to be a skilled tanner. I guess that's why she picked him. Yes, I asked him to. He wanted to run with me, but he was still feverish after the branding. I was worried he'd die on the road. Now, I don't have many kind words for Kate, but she doesn't like her efforts to go to waste. As long as he stayed, she'd make sure he was healed. I hated leaving him there, and I hate to think of what she's making him do, but I hope he's at least still alive. From what I've heard, they decided to stay in Little Grove for a while, drinking my cider to the last drop, no doubt. Not like they have to worry about the authorities. The only ones we saw were the Camelot tax collectors who came by once a year. Other than that, not a uniform in sight since I was a little girl. Oh, Mother bless you, my dear. That's all I could ask for. Please, let me know as soon as you learn anything. Be careful out there, love.
Something happened. Frang listens. I'm not from anywhere. Frang is attached to nowhere. I found a home with Dugald. I owe him a life debt. A place without a leader. As I see it, it will finally fall apart. One way or another. There are no tales about a place that survived without a strong leadership. And it's not about kings, nobleshites, or chieftains. Titles are just words that pull the wool over a man's eyes. What's needed is a strong soul with a strong name. And their names mean as much as Frang's, which is to say, nothing. Now they're a bit like Frang, strays with no home. But Reese is strong, despite what happened with Cole. Ellis, he's funny. I like him. Rawson, I know nothing about her. And Dugald, a man who became Frang's father. He has my gratitude. Don't bother. Frang never met the Keepers, but the unnamed boy did. Once, a few of them, many years ago, we fought. The unnamed boy survived even though he showed fear. Shouldn't do that. The Keepers approached the camp of the boy's people, but that past does not belong to Frang. I'm Frang.
Each day feels heavier.
I've already told you I'm not going anywhere. If you want something from me, then... Oh. I don't know you. I'm Dugald. You're not one of us. And you're not local either.
You could have chosen a better time to come here. Kind of poor ambience, if you know what I mean.
Well, at least we have a roof over our heads. My boy Frang and I came here with the others. We left our village because... But Frang is a good lad, so he came with me. I took him in, you know?
Found the poor sod at the mill, sleeping in the hay. He was chilled to the bone back then,
but I could tell he'd be a strong lad once he thawed out. He used to help out on the farm.
He's young, but he already has a couple of tattoos. Tribal ones. Means he must have been cast out of the Del Rita.
At first, the people in our village gave him dirty looks. But then they realized he wasn't a bandit.
He was a good, hard-working kid. Then they started to treat him as one of their own. Frang is a quiet boy, and he doesn't talk much about himself. I feel like those days with the Reader are long buried for him. Almost like he never lived them. Roscree. Few shacks and a small field of grain. I was a miller back there. My daughter married a good, hard-working man. Eventually, I gave them the mill.
Still helped around, but wanted to let the young folks learn how to work there. Then this kid...
Of course, something happened. Life here can't just be bearable. Oh no. Everything has to get screwed up somehow. That's the way it goes in this cursed land. My dear Trina and her bairn. They got caught by a weird beast. I left Roscree. And so did Frang. He says he has some kind of life debt. And he won't leave me alone until one of us drops dead. I'm sorry too. To be honest, I suspect we...
You've come to put me in the cage. Sorry. Just a bit of grim humor. You know, about what's been happening here. Such a mess, isn't it? Cola's all right, and Beatrice, what a shame. Such a fine girl. Anyway, I'm Ellis. Nice to meet you. What do you need? Frang? That boy is golden, I'm telling you. Smart, nice, quiet though. He keeps his head down. Only once did I see him angry, and whoa, that was something. I thought he was going to kill me on the spot. That was back on the road, right after we met. We came here later. He sure did. I nicked Dugald's roast squirrel. It was the last one. Supposed to be his. But I forgot. I felt really bad about it. Normally, Dugald would tear me a new one. You know how it is. Miller's blood runs hot. But when Frang lunged at me, Dugald was speechless, completely shocked. Cole had to calm Frang down. Cole was a great guy. Frang, a thief? Nah, not a chance. He's got principles. Frang's not just your regular Avalonian kid. He acts differently, like he's not from here. If they were to hang him, I'd take his place. Well...
They said it would get easier. Just passing through. Wish I'd stayed asleep. Thought I'd be alone today.
What do you want? To gawk at the beast? Well, I'll have to disappoint you. My Cole is not the monster you all believe him to be. So you really don't know? If you're not from here, I'm not sure what could have brought you to this hellhole, but you have my sympathies. Just know that Cole isn't like that. Something is poisoning his mind and soul. I don't know what it is, or why it happened to Cole, but now we're all at the mercy of those damned keepers. One evening there was a quarrel between our group, the villagers, and one of the keepers. They'd had a bit too much to drink and let some comments slip. They hurled insults at us, saying there's no place for us here, that we should just get the hell out of here because things are hard for everyone. Hard? Sure. I bet that bunch of wimps wouldn't last a week outside. All they do is sit in that keep of theirs, thinking they're the defenders of justice. Well, Cole went mad. I've never seen him like that before. He attacked that keeper and bit him. It was serious, but the keeper survived. If it weren't for the other men from the village, things could have ended very differently. Afterwards, they chained Cole up and locked him in a cage. His condition started to worsen. They said a monster like him doesn't deserve a jail cell. Jail cells are for humans. Bastards. This might sound silly, but before we reached the keep, we came near a strange structure. The locals call it the Arch Spire. In the morning, we realized everyone had a strange dream, but it was a little different for each of us. Cole started acting weird after that, and in time, it only got worse. Well, it was pretty typical. We started a fire and threw some cobwebs into it. Frang brought them back from one of his treks. That boy could always find them somehow. It was our protection from the night and the weirdness. Ellis was on watch that day, but from what he told us, he eventually fell asleep. We were lucky no one slit our throats. No, only that, well, he didn't make much sense. But he was convinced that something bit him. He kept checking. It must have been some bug. Something changed by the weirdness. That must have caused his fever, his insanity. We set up camp near the Arch Spire. We hoped that bandits wouldn't dare to venture into a place like that. Well, now I know why we could have been right. With everything that's been happening lately, I'm ready to believe in every strange thing in this world. What? What? How dare you? Do you know the meaning of those flowers in that configuration? Revenge. Revenge, deception, and death. There's nothing nice about it, and I don't know if he did it on purpose or if he's just an idiot. But trust me, it's not a nice gesture. Thank you. For them. You are from nowhere, just like me. That's why I believe you. Take those flowers away, burn them, throw them in a cauldron, whatever. I don't want to look at them. Oh, right. I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Beatrice. As for me and Cole, well, we left Rhee hoping to find a quiet place to rest for a bit. We planned to travel the King's Road toward Camelot. Well, here we are. We found our bloody Camelot. Cole is locked up and all I can do is shed bitter tears. Yeah, we grew up there. The village was built around a trade route. My parents ran a tavern that stood right by the road. We had a good life. We lacked for nothing. Well, that was before the damned grubwood started spitting out monsters. Then more and more caravans disappeared into the forest. People were telling stories that grew more horrifying by the day. In the end, taking that route meant certain death. The same thing that will happen to every place on this godforsaken island. Ruin. We used to have generous clientele. Merchants and emissaries from all over Avalon. They had deep pockets, always left lots of gold. But well, that changed. Then our only income came from the villagers, who were getting drunker and poorer by the day. That was always our plan. Col and I never wanted to stay there forever. Beatrice and Cole from the village of Ree, that wasn't us. Yeah. I doubt I'll ever see him again. I don't think there's anything worth going back for. Each of us has a different story. Some wanted to seek their fortune elsewhere, like me and Cole. Some had to flee their homes because of bandits pillaging their villages, or because of the weirdness. Ree could be one of those places by now. There's so much turmoil in this world. People can suddenly lose themselves, becoming a danger to those they once loved. 2 or 3 weeks ago, things were starting to get difficult. The supplies we brought with us were running low. A larger group of people is always helpful. There's always someone to talk to and share the work with. But it also means more mouths to feed, and more worries to deal with. It's not easy. Be careful out there.
Buy something or bugger off. Unless you've already bought from Orla. Then just bugger off. Pursue potential customers. Listen here, pal. Clearly you don't understand how trading works in a place like this. I've no idea where you come from, but here, it's the potential customer who needs to pursue the vendor. And that vendor decides to sell to them or not. It's the vendor who makes the decision, not the other way around. How many people here do you think are offering to exchange goods for coins? I'll tell you, not bloody many. Yeah, Orla, a woman merchant from the Keep. Go on, try giving her your money. I bet she'll just shortchange you and call it a day. She has no wit and no finesse when it comes to trading. I wouldn't mind knowing that myself. She stole a lucrative business contract out from under me and my family, then made herself at home here. Damn those Timberwall merchants. Everyone's always yammering about Timberwall. Timber this, timber that. Bugger them all. Remember, good business, only with Connacht. Fair prices, no bullshit. Yes, Connacht. From a merchant family, to be specific. Though I've always wanted to join the royal geographers, to chart the uncharted. But I broke my leg, badly enough that I couldn't travel anymore. After the accident, I was stuck at home, sitting on my ass and looking after the books. It was driving me crazy. Not what I wanted from life. You've never heard of them? They're a guild of explorers, dating back to the age of legends. They travel across Avalon, documenting all the lost and forgotten places, crawling through hidden caves, discovering old ruins. That's what LSA and I dreamed of, though only one of us got to live it. Well, a friend from back home. It was a long time ago. We were both snot-nosed kids who didn't know any better. We'd run around Connacht, drawing maps of every corner we could find. And on the farms, LSA insisted on marking every stone in the fields. My mother used to get on my ass for wasting so much paper and charcoal. Good times. She got in with the geographers, started running errands for them. Well, it was right after my accident. I might have, acted, said some things I shouldn't have. You know how it goes. We stopped talking, and then she left Connacht. Haven't seen her since. Oh yeah? Maybe you wouldn't know a good thing if it bit you right in the ass. I swear, people these days. First thing I did when I arrived was ask the locals what this village is called. And they just said, wait for it, the village. There's also a sunken village nearby. So I asked them what that one was called, and they said, the sunken village. So I asked what it was called before it was flooded, and they told me, the village. How do you even work with that? Long enough to know what sells. Not that I'd mind having a wider selection of goods, you know. Some more options on offer. But people here don't need much, so what you see is all I have. Then there's the refugees. For now, I guess they're good business. But long term, doubt it. Sooner or later, they'll run out of money. They don't have any way to earn it since no one wants them here. They'll get kicked out, or they'll just leave and not come back. But there'll be others around to keep the businesses running, more or less.
Who are you? Another refugee? This place is already crawling with your lot. It's like a Camelosian privy after a feast. In my day, you only saw old, familiar faces round here. And maybe we didn't all love each other, but a local is a local. It was easier to share with others.
even when you didn't have much. A problem? No. No problem, just rambling to myself. But now that I look at you, sure enough, you don't look like one of them. I don't know, but you could put something on the table, and then maybe we can talk. Thank you. That's better. We used to come here, the three of us. Me, Berg, and Fedley. But lately, something's gotten into Berg, and it all kinda fell apart. Hell knows what happened. One day he just stopped talking to us. We went to his house to get him, but he only cursed a blue streak at us. Say, mate, do you feel like talking to an old obla? I feel bad for him, but I've got no more patience. And Finley? Let's just say Finley's no good at this stuff. Now you're talking. Ever since he got so maudlin, Berg usually sits alone by the sea. Let me know what's wrong with him. You asking me? They came here and made themselves at home. I ain't talking to any of them. Orderly. No damn rabble begging at the gates and eating us at a house and home. Yeah, back then, sure, civilians came and went. But housing them, feeding them? We had a rule. No freeloading. But I guess that went out the window, along with our pride. You watch your damn mouth. We did everything we could. I've said it before. We need a whole damn army to keep this region in check. And besides, how do you know these leeches are even telling the truth? Every village wiped out. Just like that? Give me a break. I don't want to talk about it anymore. It used to mean something to be a keeper. You could come in off the streets and keepers would make a man out of you. Now, sold off to Brandon of gold, treated like they're made of glass. Soft, weak, the lot of them. What's there to be proud of? You see anything interesting around here? There's this tavern, and plenty of fish in the sea. Decent place to retire, but not much else. Well, if you're looking to sightsee, try the sunken village. Just don't let the locals tear you to shreds. Get moving, then.
Beer from Kunacht, wine from Farshire, moonshine, only local, the best there is. And fish, lots and lots of fish. What's your poison? No, I don't recall anything like that. No, listen. I don't know what's going on, but I doubt any of the keepers had anything important on them. Half of them couldn't tell the quartermaster's seal from a pile of horse dung someone stepped on. But that means... no. Impossible. What if... Holy moonshine. I remember. Sigibald. It was Sigibald who left those documents behind. I've no idea how you found out about it. Sigi. He's dead. Taken by a fever. Aye, of course I have. I didn't just throw them in some cabinet. I was afraid they'd fall into the wrong hands. He was a good man. I wouldn't get rid of my only memento of him. Here, after what you said, I assume you'll make good use of them. Even though I'm still not sure what to think about it. Things are getting weirder and weirder in our beloved Avalon. No problem. Listen, if by some miracle you really talked with Sigibald, please, give him my warm regards. I don't understand anything anymore.
Excuse me, could you get me a clean glass? And I mean clean, not just wiped 3 times with a dirty rag. My name is Alyssa Murray, and I'm here with my husband, a very important cloth merchant. But surely you must have heard about our family. Not to brag, but we are rather prominent. I am famed amongst Camelot's courtiers for throwing the most magnificent feasts. Thank you. I designed it myself. I wanted to blend in with the people of the South. The savage tribes, the brave lightkeepers. I wanted to make an homage to them with my new style, and I do believe I've succeeded. I can feel everyone here gazing at me with awe. Give it a few weeks and everyone here will be trying to copy me. It happens in Camelot all the time. It's almost insufferable. Well, my Duncan is here on business, of course. A very important contract with the Lightkeepers. I decided to accompany him because I have never been to the South, and I've heard so much about its wild, untamed beauty. So far, it's turned out to be terribly dull. And the smell... it's like stale fish and sweat. Hopefully, I don't have to suffer it much longer. Pray, tell me, do you know anyone here who would run a small errand for me? Oh, of course. You know, I've always found talking about money so distasteful. But needs must, I suppose. Don't worry, you'll be handsomely rewarded. Oh, nothing major. You see, I've had my eye on this beautiful abandoned estate overlooking the sea. It's not very far from here, but it's far enough away from all this rabble. If we stay here for a while, I need a place for myself. You understand that, right? No offense, but I can't keep living in a filthy room at an inn. When I asked the innkeeper to draw me a bath, he brought me a bucket. A bucket! Can you imagine? Finally, someone sympathetic to my plight. My Duncan has been heartless about it. He just keeps going on about how I was the one who wanted to come here. He told me to deal with it. Can you believe that? The nerve of the man. Well, what he doesn't know can't hurt him, can it? He should be glad that I can take care of myself. I'm not like the other high-born women, sitting around waiting to be handed everything on a silver platter. And besides, he knows better than to say no to me. Fine. The problem is that the manor appears to have some occupants, not legal ones, mind you, who need to be evicted. Forcibly, if there's no other way. You'll do it for me, won't you, dear? Splendid. I can't wait to start decorating. Maybe something nautical, to go with the sound of the waves crashing on the cliffs? Or do you think that's a trifle trite?
Can't you take a hint? We're busy here.